welcome to the M.Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sega Seth.
It's me, Brandon.
You already know who it is. I don't need to say my name.
Silento.
Silosis.
Psychosis.
I knew you were going to say
you should
that.
listen to Silosis. They're good.
Go ahead, Eric.
What up?
There you go.
They're
So,
like a metalcore thrash band. They're good. You should listen to them, Seth.
what are they?
Silosis.
Yeah, I'm over here,
They're pretty fun.
Right.
Shut up.
Well, no, actually, it's funny. I was thinking that we should do, and people can comment and think, I think it would be cool if... Oh, am I interrupting you?
I'm listening. I'm just looking through his comic book that you got for him.
Now, actually,
Fuck me.
Brody's
fucking
rubbing
with
celery
you.
sticks between his toes right now.
Yep.
Off
That's-
camera.
that's-
That's why.
that's
That's
me.
This is the whole reason
He
Seth
said I don't
took
got
us
no
off
peanut
camera
butter.
since the first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
It's 'cause
Brody
I-
got obsessed with putting different vegetables and fruits
Yeah.
between his toes.
I
Last week it was carrots. This
I
week,
sounded-
this week it's celery.
I sounded like an angry teacher.
Yeah, you did.
Excuse me?
I heard a lot.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, but anyways, I was thinking we could have a podcast at some point where it's just all of us bullshitting, telling stupid stories about each other.
Yeah. Let's do that on the next one.
I think that would be a lot
Since
of
we
fun.
got a week off next week.
Yeah, because
Oh,
next week...
By the way, we got a week off next week because I'm not going, but everyone's going up to Secret Stash for Trey's birthday.
Yeah, so...
My
I'm probably
dog's
not-
brother's sister's cat is having a wedding. That's why I won't be here.
Say that one more time.
My dog's brother's sister's cat.
Your dog's brother's
Cat dog.
your dog's brother's. I'm having a
You know
stroke.
they're gonna confuse them.
Your dog's brother's sister's cat.
It's like Lone Star in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Lone Star, I'm your brother's friend's bunkmate.
Second
You
twice
like the
removed.
Lone Ranger, Joe.
Shut up, Eric.
You're messing with me.
So today...
Yes, I know that.
We are going to talk about ballads, our favorite ballads,
Brain fart?
Ballads are fuck you. Ballads are just
soft songs in general. Cause
Like it doesn't have to specifically be ballads, just like soft songs in general.
So we usually listen to some pretty powerful music, whether it be, I listen to like heavy EDM sometimes, and Brody and Vale listen to, deathcore.
Eric listens to John Cena and Trademark.
Yo,
No,
that album is.
I
really
had
great.
that album.
Yeah.
Yo,
There's some
like,
good songs on
like,
that.
yes.
Like not like unironically, that album is.
It's
fucking
good.
The
Fire.
song they
Yeah,
use at
it
In the
is.
Marine's good too.
Yeah,
Joe.
right. I mean, right
He
now,
was one of
Summer
his-
Flings. Shit.
He was
Yeah.
one of his songs in the Marine.
Yeah, no, that album is very nostalgic for me. But also, I do want to say R.I.P. to Ole Anderson and
Yeah.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Who
Apparently
Only Anderson was part of the Minnesota
Apparently he
Wrecking
was
Crew
10 years
with
older
Arn
than he
and
said he was.
the Four
Virgil
Horsemen.
was?
Yeah, I seen that today.
Say what?
He was 10 years older than he was. He told everybody he was born in June 1962, but he was born in 1951.
Fuck.
What?
Virgil?
Yeah,
Wow.
they just found out.
So that
today.
means when he had his Fed run,
he was 40. when
he had to
did
be,
it.
It was bare minimum.
he
He
had
said
to
he
be in
was
his
40.
40s.
I mean,
That is insane.
That is crazy.
So, okay, so rock and wrestling, late 80s, so let's say WrestleMania 3, 87.
Yeah.
So
He's
that's
37.
He said 51, right?
36.
Okay, so he's 36.
Yeah.
He said
That's
he was 40 whenever he won the million dollar.
okay.
title.
40, winning a fucking world title, a fucking big title like
Yeah.
that. That's nuts.
He was born in April 6th, apparently.
Also, real quick, I know it's only going to be me and Seth thing, and I don't even know if he saw anything about it, but
What's up?
Pokemon Legends.
Oh yeah, and everybody hates me because I don't love the Legends games. I'm gonna try and give them another shot, but
Well,
You need to. It's
everybody.
opposite of Pokemon.
Digimon, pretty much.
Anyways, I know I it just was a little buggy when I played it. It was like
they
super,
updated it a lot.
yeah. Well, I played it when it first came out.
Yeah, I
And-
remember that game downloaded at 12:03 a.m. and I played it for like 10 or 12 hours.
I got it.
It's not fun.
I got it like a week later.
For that pay-per-view.
But it was it's an awesome concept. It's one of my favorite Pokemon games. I'm glad they're doing it with another generation, and they skipped Generation 5
I know.
for some fucking
I
reason.
know. I don't know what's up with that. Just do. Maybe they'll do like they
Yeah,
did
dude, Kenny Omega, yo.
in 2022 when they did 2 releases that year.
People are thinking that they just didn't announce it yet because everyone wants to focus on the main line, like the legends.
Well, yeah, because
so maybe later on, and then they'll say like, oh, in November or in early
for
January,
the holiday release,
yeah,
it's
right.
gonna. I bet you that
black and white.
I bet you it's gonna. Yes, it's gonna
but
be a
it
Gen
is cool.
5.
We're getting Pokemon Z after X and Y. 12.
I'm glad that
years ago.
Z can't possibly fail.
It's Pokemons.
I'm glad that
like the Hardys.
I'm glad that Kalos is getting some attention because I enjoyed those games.
And Mega Evolution is back.
I heard that.
That is cool.
So,
At the very end of the trailer, the symbol popped up.
So maybe
because Brody and Eric are rude, we'll continue on. From the Pokemon.
I'm sorry.
But maybe I'll get an
Can't
update and replay it again. I have it digitally downloaded to my Switch.
Speaking Japanese.
So
Eric, you're over there speaking dumbass, yo.
Fluent in that.
And so yeah, we're gonna get into ballads. So like we said,
Ballads are soft songs.
Soft songs. You know, you normally listen to pretty heavy music, but I think ballads will have a special place in our hearts.
All right, continue.
Eric, be careful.
Yeah.
You knock over my Ewok village.
Be alright. They had worse.
Yeah, the one got shot by the ATST.
Yeah, man.
that Evan sent me that one time and said it was the saddest moment in cinema.
Jesus.
But anyways, I think everybody has some heavy attachment to soft songs for specific moments in their life.
We're all suckers for ballads or soft songs.
Yeah,
I love that shit, and it's everyone gets in their mood one time when you're just sitting there and you listen to sad songs, or you're in your feels or something for some reason.
Just thought of
as you said that, something else changed. As you said that, because I gotta be real, this list, I am an idiot when it comes to musical terms, musical instruments. I am a movie guy through and through.
Yeah.
I know
Everyone's got their area
camera.
of expertise.
I have camera knowledge. I studied TV production in college, film editing. I edit the podcast. You know, I know how to do all of that. But when it comes to music, you couldn't tell me anything, and I would understand it.
Yeah, and that's where I like to think this is somewhere. Ballads, these kinds of songs are supposed to be like emotional songs.
Yeah.
That people put like
love,
sadness, like something that makes you feel emotional.
The human experience.
It's the heaviest type of song,
Right,
I'd say, or the heaviest emotional.
Put like a song that someone put their heart into.
Right.
So the softest music is actually the heaviest.
Yeah, I was definitely sometimes.
There you go.
I can think of. There's one song on my list that's might be one of this band's heaviest songs in terms of that. You know.
Yeah, it's I've got some interesting picks, and I know
So
Eric's
do I.
gonna be.
Can you get a Mick pick too, for me?
I don't think they have that anymore.
They haven't had that in years.
Now McDoubles are 2 for $3.50.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't even get me going.
That's the only thing I get there.
Yeah, I get 2 McDoubles and a large fry.
Did you see the McDonald's anime that's coming out?
Yes, the WickDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, that's what the ads in Fortnite's
It's actually
involved.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you try it?
That's that chili sauce. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I tried some of Brody's yesterday, and apparently it's getting hard to get. So I guess we just went at the right time.
Yeah.
It was okay. It tastes like cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
That was it.
We went there like soon as it went to like lunchtime. No, I think probably about 2
Yeah.
hours after.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm gonna get into my list.
Did you make one of your charts?
No, I did not, because it's hard to do that with
Eric.
with
I gotta
that.
insult him like that.
Actually,
How
you
about
guys
hot pepper?
go ahead and start listing.
Okay.
What'd you?
What are you looking around for?
My phone.
Oh, it was on the bed.
Yeah, I know. I turned off.
Wait, no, that's for wallet. Oh, here it is.
Thank you, sir. So you guys go ahead.
Silly names.
Okay.
You gotta throw shit.
So
'Cause
I
you're
guess
being
I'll
mean.
start off.
How am I being mean?
So I start off with
Got a lot.
I had a lot on this list.
Yeah.
I'm a connoisseur of the sad song.
No, this is your guys' jam.
Yeah. It's
No peanut
So I have my top 5. I have 5 honorable mentions, and then I have a little side thing because I didn't put any Blink on my list because I figured that I could make my entire own list of that.
Yeah.
So to run through that, it was just Always, Adam's Song, and One More Time.
Honestly, you could do a pop punk one in and of itself.
Yeah, but Always, Adam's Song, and One More Time, all of them have a strict emotional attachment, you know. Always being a great love song. Adam's Song, if people don't know, it's about Mark Hoppus getting home from tour, and Travis and Tom had wives and kids to go home to him, and Mark would just go home and sit in his house and can't wait till he get back out on tour with his friends. And then One More Time, obviously, the return of them.
Yeah, you know what?
That's gonna be a classic in like
that,
in like a year.
Let that be the universal number 6, I guess, for all of us, because
it's very, very, very good.
Yeah, that I don't remember the last time something like that, music-wise, made me
emotional.
Cry. Yeah, I think the closest was Now and Then when that song came out.
You know, not to get too emotional, but like. One More Time makes me think, like, some of the lines in that, it makes me think of, like, all the times we've spent together.
Yeah.
And then I went away for, like, 6 months.
Yeah.
In the summertime
and,
down at the beach.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and then we got back together.
Val and I have some pretty strong attachment to that song. Yeah.
And then honorable mentions, we'll start with Don't Close Your Eyes by Kix.
It's a classic.
I know...
Which the original version is not on Spotify for some reason.
Yeah.
That's how Def Leppard was, too. Def Leppard,
Dude, they had all the...
like 20...
So, not to side note here, but, like, for some reason, the original versions of those songs, like Blow My Fuse, were on there, and then they took them off, and then they put re-recorded versions.
That's what they did with Def Leppard.
It sounded like shit. Like, I'm sorry, like... You know, the songs you can't record.
Right.
And then they took them down again and then put another re-recorded version up. Like, I don't know what's going on with Kix and Spotify right now, but...
Get your shit together. They're not even around anymore.
I know.
Don't Close Your Eyes Kix, Twin Flame, MGK. Great love song, written with a lot of emotion. Shimmer, Moose Blood. Won't get into that one, obviously. It's another on my... I know this might be over there on Eric's because I showed him to it years ago. If It Means a Lot to You, A Day to Remember.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like I said,
out the album.
Yeah. Pop punk could be its own.
That's a fucking...
Yeah, you could do your own list about it. Yes.
The male-female split vocals. Great song.
Mm-hmm.
And my last honorable mention is I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
I hate that fucking song.
That is...
You and Damien.
You don't like Aerosmith. So.
Yeah.
You didn't like the movie Armageddon, you know?
One time, me and Damien were going to Virginia, and we were stuck in traffic.
I remember this.
And we were literally... It was supposed to be like a 2.5-hour trip, and we were in the car for like 4.5 hours.
You guys were stuck in traffic.
And at one point, we're sitting in the car, and we kept playing I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
What was it, like 20 times?
Yeah, and every single time it would get more and more animated where we scream louder. And then eventually, after like 10 times, Damien's outside of the car dancing around on the highway with non-stopped cars singing to everybody.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's, I love that song. And then, top 5, I've got December by Neck Deep. Specifically with the Mark Hoppus.
Fuck, I forgot about that December, one too.
Yeah. That was a sequel.
December again? It's not a sequel, it's a reimagining. But obviously with my boy in it and the emotions of the song, if you listen to it.
Yeah, that has some pretty heavy meaning to it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 4 being Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. I mean, it's one of the original
it's a classic.
ballads. Like,
it's a classic.
One of the first songs I learned to play on guitar. Yeah. I remember sitting at my dad's house on weekends and I'd put on that Bret Michaels hat I had upstairs.
Yeah. I wish I had those pictures.
And we'd sing along, and then so last night, getting into my number 3, I made Mariah watch The Dirt.
Fuck! I just thought of another one.
Damn, Brody's gonna have like 30 honorable mentions.
I know.
But I made Mariah watch The Dirt.
Is that the first time she's seen it?
Yeah. She actually was like, I don't know who Motley Crue is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Like she's in her own little...
That stuff used to surprise me, like, how have you never heard of this? But then I've just kind of, like, accepted it that, I mean, it's just gonna be the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, like some people just don't...
They just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, same... And, yeah.
People listen to certain things, and they just...
Yeah.
Also, Mariah is very...
she's picky.
Tunnel visioned about
she's
her,
picky
her
about
stuff.
She's picky about certain things, which is understandable.
But
we're all picky about certain things.
Which leading into Home Sweet Home, which obviously...
yeah, that was almost on my list, but I chose a different Crue song.
Which, after she watched the movie, I seen her researching stuff about Motley Crue and whatnot, so obviously she was a fan of what she saw, but Home Sweet Home, that's probably one of the first ballads I ever heard from my dad or something riding around.
First ballads we all heard.
It's the iconic intro with the piano.
And I will say, even though it wasn't their last show, still watching the end concert in California, still watching them play that
on New Year's Eve, right?
See Vince Neil get teared up.
Yep.
Even though it wasn't the final tour. It's
at the time
it's still fun to watch.
Whenever it's funny because at the end of the Dirt they say that Motley Crue played their last show on this date. And I'm like, well, that's not true.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, when we started it, she goes, "Are any of these people dead?" I said, "No, but Mick Mars isn't in the band anymore."
Yeah.
Mick Mars is my favorite member.
Shout out, Mick Mars' album slaps.
Is it?
I fucking love. Yeah, it's good.
I gotta check it out.
Mick Mars is the fucking
great
man.
Old hard rock.
I know he's got like different vocalists on each song.
Yeah. Very fun hard rock. What, Eric?
Didn't he try to say, like, Motley Crue be throwing, like, orgies and shit and, like, devil worship stuff?
I think that was... I think that was,
he was
like,
trying to say they're, like, new Illuminati and stuff.
Something tells me that was, like, his lawyers putting his words into his mouth, but not to get into that.
Yeah. But Home Sweet Home being number 3. Number 2, which I know won't be on any of y'all's list, is Don't Take the Girl by Tim McGraw.
I actually like that song because of you. Because of you.
I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard this song.
I might have, but like not thinking.
This is the saddest song in the world.
Yeah, it's one of them.
One of the saddest songs.
It used to get a lot of radio play.
Yeah, it did. That's probably where I heard it too.
3 verses. The first verse is him talking about when he was 8 and his dad was taking him fishing, and this little girl shows up, and he's like, "Please don't take the girl. I don't want her to go. Can you take one of my best friends with me?" And then it skips. It said the second verse. It says 10 years later, and it says the same old boy, same sweet girl, and they're at this like a movie theater, and a guy grabs a gun and puts it to the girl's head and says, "You're gonna do what I say or else." And he's basically like, "Here's my money. Here's my wallet. Please don't take the girl from me." Damn. And then the third verse is a couple years later, and the girl is giving birth. And they say, the baby's fine, but she's not going to make it. And it's basically him pleading to God, saying, "Don't take the girl from me. He'll take her place."
Jeez.
It's a very, very heavy song. One of the saddest songs.
I might have heard it now that I think about
it. It got a lot of radio play, like Eric said.
It did. It's a banger. I can't deny that at all. Love me some Tim McGraw. Shout out Miss Tracy. And then number 1...
I have the Miss Tracy shout out on my honorable mentions as well.
Number 1 being On Our Way by Stereoside.
Oh, fuck! I can't believe I forgot that!
That's a good one.
I can't believe that!
That's a good one.
That is the
How did I forget that?
Song.
That was our closeout song.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that's another universal pick for everybody because of everything. Yes. Yes.
Something my dad would always put
I'm getting
on
goosebumps
when we were all at the house.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
And we'd all sing along to this band that still has not getting the recognition they deserve. I don't even know what they're doing nowadays.
They haven't put out an album in quite
since
some time.
Hellbent in 2016.
Yeah.
But Stereoside,
I can't even believe that.
On Our Way. It's essentially about a bunch of rocker friends who are in the front row together from when they're young.
It's a love letter to rock, basically.
Right. They bring up all the OGs of rock.
All the classic names.
Yeah. And then during a part in the song, we would always go to the back door, it being like 2 or 3 in the morning. And we'd scream, "Good night, Aberdeen," because they say "Good night, Detroit," as in an honor to kiss.
Yeah.
And I know those neighbors must have hated us at some point, because we would just scream out that back window at the end of every night. And then we'd all go off to bed. Or we'd play another song, continue on for another hour, and then have to redo it.
I think one time, at one point, one night we were up till like 3:30 or 4, something like that.
Yeah, I stayed up till like 7 in the morning that one time playing Concentration. Bands.
That was fun.
It's definitely an iconic song. I had to throw it on the list. It couldn't be completed without it. So Brody or Seth, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go in case Brody changes it after I say mine. That's like
I've been making edits like. I've made like 3 edits so far.
So my honorable mentions are so I didn't want to put like just a regular Nirvana song on here because I was trying to pick which slow one I enjoyed. So I'm just gonna say In Utero. The entire album, for the most part, minus a few songs, is pretty much it's pretty slow. It's pretty slow compared to some others. No, don't get me wrong. There are some heavy, quick ones on that album.
Fucking wild songs on that album.
But there's a lot of slow songs on that album. But I mean, if that didn't count, then the live.
Let me see here.
Live Unplugged has a lot of slow ones on that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Heart-Shaped Box is up there because it only gets heavy during the chorus.
Yeah, that was the one that I was listening to that, and then I was listening to other ones.
That song Tourette's is.
That's what. Yeah.
That song's fucking crazy.
I'm not like them. Dumb is really slow.
All Apologies.
Pen Royalty.
All Apologies is a pretty slow song.
Pen Royalty.
Yeah.
You know. So.
What's the one song on here that's like where it's just him just like fucking like shouting and going nuts? Is it Scentless Apprentice?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably the most aggressive, and even then it's a slow heavy song.
Yeah.
But and then this one's for Vale and Me. Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon.
REO Speedwagon's fire.
Underrated. Without You, Motley Crue.
It's a good one.
That's a banger.
Freebird, of course.
Fuck.
You see? That was my Miss Tracy shout out. Fade to Black was on there too.
Yeah.
Fade to Black was my final.
I tried to not put Metallica on.
I tried to never do Metallica because I know you guys are gonna do them.
I've got
but
Metallica like a bunch of probably 3 times over here.
Yeah.
So then my actual list is Don't Let Me Down by the Beatles.
Don't let me down.
That was one of the last times they performed together. It was when they're on top of the building and all these people come together just to watch them play.
Come together.
It's really funny though. I was watching this and they were like, we're all gonna get the memo to grow beards and mustaches except John. And if you look at it, you just see everybody all like bearded up.
I was about to say John was the only clean cut one there.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
How about Jim?
About no.
So then, More Than a Woman by the Bee Gees. That's just a slower song for me.
That's a fun song.
It's a fun song. Shout out James. His favorite band was the Bee Gees.
Yes.
I'll never forget his music taste he was like, you might like my third favorite band. He liked Kiss, ICP, and the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. And then Rush, Closer to the Heart.
That's a good one.
Specifically the South Park anniversary thing when him and Trey Parker and Matt Stone all stood together singing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Number 2 is Disarmed by Smashing Pumpkins.
How does that one go?
The killer in me is the killer in you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was my sad boy song. I really, really love that song. And number 1, I Still Love You by Kiss.
That's a good one.
That dude, I
have a different Kiss song, but
Mariah Said Forever by Kiss would be on hers.
Yeah. I Still Love You is a good pick.
Choosing a Kiss ballad was hard, but then I listened. This one's always been my favorite, but like I had to listen to it. I listened to it twice, and since last night, and just Eric Carr on drums. Creatures of the Night is my favorite Kiss album.
Yeah, same here.
So
that album's great.
Yeah, it's my favorite Kiss album, and just I've always loved that song. So yeah, probably that one.
Comment your favorite Kiss album down below.
Yeah, tell me your favorite Kiss album.
And why it's Destroyer.
I love Destroyer, but like I just like Creatures better.
To be honest, Destroyer's like the more I've listened to it, it's a really good album, but there's like 1 or 2 tracks that are
Christine 16.
No, that's off of Love Gun.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right.
The only 2 weak tracks, like they're not bad, but like the weakest tracks on there are probably like Sweet Pain and Great Expectations.
I like Sweet Pain. I don't like Great Expectations.
And it's probably just nostalgia for me because I just remember listening to that.
Well, I was also obsessed. I was obsessed with that album.
Yeah. So was I, but just
that was my favorite Kiss album for a while.
And then, because I mean, you grew up. My uncle always told me how much he hated '80s Kiss, so I avoided it. And then meeting you guys, Psycho Circus is good. I just like their Kiss.
80s Kiss rules. I don't care what anyone says.
I
We all know the greatest album ever is Tattoos and Tequila by Vince Neil.
Fuck yeah. That album's actually really good.
Go ahead, Brody.
That's a
spaghetti incident.
That's Seth's favorite album.
Shout out to Mr. Snyder. If Guns N' Roses can do this, then you can put your headphones back. And it was a picture of the spaghetti incident.
Okay, so my honorable mentions. Good fucking grief. So I'm just gonna run through these because it's a long list. So we got. I might talk about them a little bit, but we got Unforgiven 3 by Metallica.
Yeah,
that's probably my second favorite track off of. Well, no, that's my third favorite track off of Death Magnetic. Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
You gotta go all Nightmare Long with Death Magnetic. That's
my top three.
Oh,
My top three for Death Magnetic. Day That Never Comes, My Apocalypse, Unforgiven 3.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
So after Cemetery Gates, I have Ordinary Man by Ozzy with Elton John.
Yeah.
That song is fucking good.
Yeah.
Here's to Us by Hailstorm.
I forgot
that was another closer.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm surprised that's not on Dad's. He forgot about that.
And I have a recent discovery with Hailstorm for ballads. Raise Your Horns.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Mm-mm.
So it's the last track on their most recent album, Back from the Dead. Her voice in that song is incredible. Like, it gives me chills every time I listen to it. I'll have to play it for you later. But then I have More Than Words by Extreme.
That was going to be on mine.
That's like one of my favorite like hair metal ballads. My Mom Coming Home by Ozzy. Fade to Black by Metallica.
Yep.
Forever by Kiss. And like I said earlier, probably one of this band's heaviest songs, One More Light by Linkin Park.
Oh,
I didn't even
think about that.
It's such a good song.
I didn't
but
even
God
think about
damn,
that.
it's fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
On Our Way by Stereoside.
Yep.
Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
I felt that one was going to be too predictable for me, so that's why I said Without You.
Freebird by Skinner. And then my last honorable mention, this is a shout out to my mom, is Simple Man by Skinner.
Yeah.
Because that was her song to me. So that song holds a very special place in my heart.
Me too. It holds a special place in my heart too, because there's a coworker I had, and he was kind of like a father figure to me. He's still kicking. He works in the mountains now. He really does in Walmart in the mountains.
That's funny.
I keep in touch with him, but I was playing music one day, and that came on, and he sung every word to that song, and he was just like, this song really hits hard for me, and we just shared experiences about music, and that song and then his wife, I worked with his wife, she also worked there, and when he would call her, that was the song it would play.
Yeah.
And I would like show him covers of that and stuff like that, and it was cool. It was cool.
So my top 5, we have This Love by Pantera.
I was thinking about that.
Because if you think about it, like most of that song, aside from the chorus, is pretty soft.
Yeah.
You know, for the rest of the album.
And until you came back.
Yeah, or until the very end with the second heaviest breakdown of all time. And they slowed that.
I'm so glad nothing fell when you were doing that.
They when we saw them last week, they slowed that shit down.
Yeah, they did. That was head curdling.
Yeah, head curdling heavy.
Yep.
Is it cheese curds?
Yeah.
Eric eats cheese curd.
Yeah, he does.
Cheese curds are good in poutine.
What? The hell's poutine?
Gravy, cheese curds, and fries. It's a Canadian dish.
Oh, of course.
You just say gravy.
So
it's different though.
So so number 4, I have Mama Said by Metallica.
Yeah.
That's like one of my all-time favorite ballads, and honestly, I've said it before. Like vocally, that's James Hetfield's best song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his best work.
Because it shows how he's known for being It shows that he can do more than
Number 3, I have So Far Away by Avenged Sevenfold.
I knew that was going to be on there.
I didn't even think about that, but I'm not surprised.
Song is... I don't even know what to say about that song.
Between
that and Fiction.
Yeah, they have two heavy-ass songs.
Fiction's another good one, too.
And I mean that in the emotional way, on that album.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, Fiction was written with the Rev.
It was the last song he recorded.
And it was recorded like 2 days before he passed.
Oh, and a little side note. I'll never forget it. When when I saw Avenged Sevenfold in, I think it was like 2013, 2014. It was on the Hail to the King tour because we met you guys, you and your dad there. When they played Fiction, they I don't know if I told you Seth, but they pulled out a piano, put it in the center of the stage, and at the Rev's part, they played his part over the loudspeaker, and all the lights went out, and it was just one spotlight on the piano.
What was that? One?
I still get chills thinking about it.
That was the one that you went to with Justin.
Yeah, Justin, Damien, and we saw Ginger there.
Yeah, and then Ginger talked to Eric about it every day.
And
for
you
the
know
next
what's
10
funny?
years.
After that, that's when you started fucking with me. With them shadows.
No, that was way before
Was it
that.
before that?
Yeah,
I thought
that
it
was
was
like
after
8th
that.
grade. That was way earlier.
So Brandon, many years ago, he decided it was funny to mess with me, like texting from his freaking iPod Touch.
I
different number.
I remember you telling me about this.
And he was messaging me like saying that it was M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold. And I fucking believed him.
I said I met him accidentally at the Hartford Mall one.
Yeah.
We were real little.
It was 10 years before those memes.
Yeah, I know. We've done that so many times.
And then at one point, that was good. At one point he started messaging me saying it was James Hetfield.
Oh yeah. And then I was like, this is going too far. He's gonna catch on, so I can't do this.
Yeah, we were all very young, but that was good times.
Yeah, like the time you texted me and you were like, "Hi, this is like blah blah blah." It was some chick, and you were like, I hear you've got a nice Transformers collection. And I was like,
when did I do that?
When I was working at Walmart, because I can distinctly remember being at the garden register, and you were like, I was like, who the fuck is this? And you were like, I hear you've got a nice Transformers collection. You went to Aberdeen, right? You just didn't know me. And I was like, huh?
It's like when I started texting Dan.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he was fucking with Nad, yeah.
Okay, but
did you really give my number out?
But my number 2 is The Unforgiven by Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's probably my favorite. I would say it's probably my favorite like slow song of theirs.
Yeah.
And then number 1, I think it's one of the most underrated songs by this band, Snuff by Slipknot.
Dude,
yeah,
yes.
I knew that was
yes.
Like,
yes. I left Slipknot out of this.
And I kind of understand why Corey doesn't play it a whole lot, because it's emotionally it kills the mood. Well, I wouldn't say that, but it's just it's a very personal song to him. And it was a big song for me a couple years ago, and it still is. And I know Corey does it on his solo tour, but I wish Slipknot would play it live. Like they don't play. They played it for the first time like in a while, like I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that's probably my favorite ballad/soft song of all time.
Yeah. I'm gonna run through Dad's list real quick just so we can get it off.
Oh my god!
All right, go ahead.
Not talking about anything.
Yeah.
Carrie by Europe, Love Song by Tesla, Home Sweet Home Crew, Honestly Striper, I'll Never Let You Go, Steelheart, Love of a Lifetime, Firehouse.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
More Than Words Extreme, Don't Know What You Got by Cinderella, which was gonna be on mine, but I didn't want to add too many. Sleeping in the Fire, Wasp, The Price, Twisted Sister, Every Rose Has its Thorn, Poison, Merry-Go-Round Crew, Don't Close Your Eyes, Kicks.
Merry-Go-Round's an interesting choice.
House of Pain, Faster Pussycat, which is on the Peacemaker soundtrack.
Dude, House of Pain,
That's a great song.
That scene's...
Is that the song?
That scene's rough.
The song he plays on the piano. That's a different song.
He plays Home Sweet Home on the piano.
Oh, okay.
House of Pain is when he
I haven't watched the show since I watched
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. It was a really emotional scene.
He's laying on the bed, yeah.
Isn't it like when he finds out like about his dad or something?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, or he's like upset about his dad, I think.
Yeah, I'd be upset too if my dad was a Terminator.
Angel, Aerosmith, When the Children Cry, White Lion, Heaven, Warrant. He's got This Love, Pantera, Fade to Black, Metallica, Fly to the Angels, Slaughter, and Sister Christian by Night Ranger.
Yeah, and some Night Ranger.
Fly to the
That
Angels
a
is a
boy.
good one.
Way to go, Ken.
All right, Eric.
For number 5, I guess I'll go If It Means a Lot.
Okay. Yeah.
4, One More Time. 3, Snuff.
Yeah.
Number 2 would actually be, I guess, Far Away by Nickelback. Even though that's amazing.
Hey, that's a good
one. No, that's a great song.
That's a good one.
And number 1 would be this Shinedown's cover of Simple Man.
That's a good one.
Both versions, but I love the
No
cover.
Foo Fighters.
And seeing the cover live.
Foo Fighters really don't have too many
I'm
like.
thinking about putting Everlong, but I don't know if you could count that as a song.
Nah.
They don't really have like. I will say, times like these might be like the live acoustic version is definitely softer.
I just always think
My
of
Hero.
Yeah, that could be considered like a.
I always think
when
of
we saw Shinedown and they played Simple Man live and the crowd.
Yeah, I remember Eric looked over me. He just goes.
Fucking damn, yo, when you gonna do Simple Man?
My favorite. That was my favorite when they played Enemies. And he started jumping up and down. Soon as the song starts, we all start jumping up and down. And all I hear is, "Oh fuck!" And Dan just falls down the fucking hill. That shit was great.
He was like jumping, and somehow he slipped.
And like the whole show, he's asking us, "When they gonna play Simple Man?" We're like, "Dan."
Wasn't he a little intoxicated?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think he had a couple. Yeah. I think he had a couple beers at that point.
I think Brody like slapped him in the chest. And was like, "Dan, they'll get to it. Yeah. Calm down."
Do you guys have any songs that are emotional for you that aren't considered like
just songs that are emotional
just songs in general that you have latched on to specific things? Because I have a really random one,
right.
And I just said something. It made me think of it. When I was like 4, my dad took me to. There used to be a movie theater in Bel Air next to Barnes and Noble. It used to be a discount theater. He took me to Toys R Us, and then I don't have a lot of positive memories about my dad, so this is why it hits hard. He took me to, it was in the summertime, and they would play movies for $1, and you got like a little combo snack thing. It was next to Barnes and Noble, and from what I remember. And he took me to see Transformers the movie, the animated one, and as soon as the theme song by
Stan Bush.
This one was Black Lab, I think, is the band.
For the 86 movie?
For the theme. Yeah, Transformers!
Yeah, it's not Stan Bush.
Yeah.
It's, I can't remember.
I think it's Black Lab.
Yeah.
Or Lion, one of the two.
Lion.
Lion.
It's Lion, yeah.
And that song, just every time I hear it, it hits that sweet spot. And I didn't even make it through the movie as a kid because Optimus Prime dies in it, and I thought it was real life, and I started crying.
You know, for an animated movie, that scene hits pretty hard.
Yeah, but that for
you like an emotional connection song, even if it's not,
like movie scores too. I mean that's a whole different. Because I mean, every time I hear Binary Sunset, I almost cry. Yeah. It hits such a or the Avengers ensemble theme. I mean that's always going to have that, you know, or wrestling themes. My God, certain
wrestling can invoke already invoke such emotion.
Yeah.
So like
it's like Undertaker. You don't even have to hear the theme.
No.
You just hear that bell toll.
08 Cena's Rumble return, like I've said
dude,
before,
yes.
insane in my brain.
Yeah.
I was watching it live.
It was before you were watching.
That was in 2008.
Oh,
not the 2013 one.
No. I was thinking of AJ Styles.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No, this one I remember watching that live.
And You and Me, it's not definitely not a ballad, but Pain Remains 1, Lorna Shore.
Oh my God.
When we saw that at Blue Ridge, and me and Brody were a little bit tipsy. We
were drinking like 12% hoop teas.
Yeah, it was
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a big one. Like, Stand by Eminem.
Yeah.
But like, I think Pain Remains just has a special place for me because I got so into that song, and like when I heard that intro, because that intro is incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, of course, I was intoxicated, and I just Brandon can attest to this. I literally like squatted down and was just like this.
Yeah, he had his hands over his face.
Yep.
And he got to when it gets to the breakdown. Oh well, without you,
because that I mean that line for me just it gets me because that's basically what would happen if I didn't have you guys. You know.
Oh, well, yeah.
And that goes for all of you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's kind of why like certain songs invoke nostalgia and memory, but they definitely have purpose behind them. Like, I mean, when you and me were staying at Wilson's, and we would listen to Nevermind all the fucking time.
That is insane.
When we would have the CD
in my Nirvana or Kiss.
Yeah, in my attic listening to Saint Anger. stuff
and
like
for
that.
Today.
For
Shout out
today,
to For
dude,
Today.
I like that band. They
That
never got their time in the sun. But like, I mean, don't even get me going on video game themes. I mean, every time I hear that Pokemon, dun 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 dun, I get like super excited. Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, what's another big one for me? The song the big guy. Another. It's actually a piece of music. Is Portals by Alan Silvestri.
Oh, absolutely.
Every time I hear that,
yeah,
I just think about when Captain America says, "Avengers Assemble," and that whole theater just fucking exploded.
Another one for me on the subject of Marvel and song, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Father and Son, Yondu's song.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, that hits really hard for me because of personal reasons. But when he looks down at him and say, he may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. That hits so personal for me. That, like, you know, it just... Every time I hear Father and Son, it hits me in the feels. And I think about that, and it really, really hits that sweet spot.
And I mean, Eric cries every time he hears Hero by Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott.
What was it that your sister made you turn that off?
Yeah. I kept on replaying it on the DVD forever ago.
That video is cool.
I
found
wanted
it on the DVD.
It's basically just Josie Scott and Chad Kroeger singing on a rooftop.
I wanted to do Scott Pilgrim's Ramona song in that because of my personal attachment to that, but I know everybody's tired of hearing me talk about Scott Pilgrim, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up about it.
Honestly, like it's a legitimately fun movie.
Yeah,
no one's here to listen. No one's here specifically to listen to me talk about sad pop punk deathcore or fucking Serbian film. No one is here specifically to hear Brody talk about fucking AC/DC and the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
But it's share. It's supposed to be us bullshit.
I mean, like I said, video game music in and of itself. I mean, I know that I avoid video game topics on this outside of like news updates because maybe one time. I mean, we did do the one time when Brody wasn't here, and we did the Mount Rushmore of video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I avoid them because it wouldn't be fair to Brody. So it's just not a big gamer. So
y'all, I mean. I know some things, but most of the time y'all are speaking Chinese.
Right. And so, like, but I mean, Final Fantasy came out this week for the PS5, and I don't have a PS5, but I really want to play it.
I sold a couple copies last week.
Yeah, and every time I hear that opening score to Final Fantasy,
what is this Final Fantasy? Which one is this?
No, it's a remake. It's no. They did the first half of so Final Fantasy's 2 discs.
Yeah.
They did the first disc, and then they remastered it for that, and then this new one is disc 2. So it was a legit thing. Okay. It needed to get made, but I don't know. And I like playing the Resident Evil games with you and Damien.
Oh yeah.
Is that what he makes?
And when we found that GameCube, we found all those GameCube games in that abandoned house.
Oh, a house burnt down by mine and Seth's high school. I guess all of our high school.
Yeah.
And we walked out back and there was like fucking 15 to 20
GameCube games.
Jesus.
I remember it had just started snowing, and I remember we were like, "What do we do? What do we do?"
Yeah. And we didn't have cases. We were worried about cases. Literally,
we scooped them up. We scooped them up. Walked to my mom's house, cleaned them off, and I tested and did everything I could. And I will never forget the 2 games that didn't fucking work. It was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and Madden 04. And they wouldn't work. And I was pissed about the Harry Potter one. But all of the other ones, Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Strikers, Super Smash Brothers Melee, Mario Baseball.
Insane.
It was an insane. I cannot for the life of me know what those were doing there.
You know, in Inside Out when they're talking about core memories, that's definitely like a core memory.
Because nobody would fucking believe it. I remember I was like, my mom's gonna think we stole these. Yeah. Like, it's fucking nuts.
I got another one. Seeing Metallica for the first time in 2012.
Oh yeah,
Because up to that point, we had all watched like Metallica in concert so many times, so we knew some of the tropes. Soon as that scene from like, soon as I saw Clint Eastwood on that screen, and you heard that intro piece to Ecstasy of Gold,
that would be another film score that, because of that. Yeah. I mean, seeing that for the first time when I saw that, I mean, hearing that. I mean, that, just.
And in the same weekend of You, Me, and Damien, I'll always keep that image in our head of You, Me, and Damien with our arms around each other, headbanging simultaneously.
Like during, no, not just that, but like during the intro to Sandman the second night, we're just like jumping up and down at the same time. It was so much fun.
That's a good idea for our bullshit thing. We could talk about some core memories that we have. Yeah, memories that would stick out strongest with all of each.
That could be entertaining stories. Like, I mean, like you and me being like, yeah, remember that time we sat there and played Pokemon for 4 hours? It's like,
which time?
Like, which time? Like,
no. But what about the time? What about the time where you and Justin came and grabbed me when I worked at Mars? We walked by Panera, and you said Kobe like the first ever time you tried something, and the glass bottle missed the trash can. And
it shattered everywhere.
I have another funny story. We were walking back from the ShopRite in my neighborhood for a pay-per-view, I guess. And for some reason, I always think about this. You have like a half bottle of like Sprite or something, and you just go, "I've had it," and you just like smash the bottle.
I did that?
Yeah. Oh. You just like smash the bottle on the ground. I don't remember why. I think you just randomly did it.
One time on winter break. This is a sample of what we will be doing, so just if you enjoy this, go ahead. But me and Vale were at McDonald's, and you're wearing my beanie now? Okay. Yeah. Say some things I would say.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I do say that. I do say that a lot.
Hey, you want to go to this toy show tomorrow? We have to get up at like 3 a.m., but you want to go?
I mean, yeah. We went to McDonald's and we had the 2 DSs, and we were trading the starter Pokemon back and forth. And I looked at you and you were like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I feel like this is illegal."
Oh, yeah. Sorry for doing that. Also, one with you and one with Seth, one with Eric. Seth, one of us being 16 and playing with Star Wars figures.
That was so cool because they were just sitting.
I have a fun story for next time.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it for next time.
They were just sitting. My mom. Somebody gave them to my mom to give to my brother, and they were just sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
And you and I just fucked around with those.
And then, obviously Eric with I Shit Pancakes. I don't know if I've told this story before, but we were talking about Guitar Hero.
I thought it was DJ Hero.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No. We were talking about Guitar Hero. He came up and talked about it.
I thought we were talking about DJ Hero.
Yeah. Because that guy came up. Me and Eric were talking about Guitar Hero. And this guy comes up and he goes, "Yeah, I like DJ Hero." And Eric said, "Well, I shit pancakes." And it was like the first couple months that I knew Eric. And that dude just stared at us and then walked away.
That dude just stared at you. Yeah. I remember walking up right after that and I was like, "What did you say?" Eric was like, "Nothing." And I was like, "Okay." Or, "We should have a fire."
What?
Okay, one more. Yeah, go ahead,
We
Eric.
were at Seth's house one night, and it was like midnight, and we had to be quiet.
Yeah.
And we're in this, on the back area, and I forgot about that little step, and I said we should have a fire, and I fell like right
Eric just ate shit.
We're literally walking up, and this is when Seth still lived at his parents' house, so we're trying to sneak in back inside and be quiet so no one hears us. And Seth's like, "All right, we gotta be quiet." And Eric goes, "Yo, we should have a fire." And then Eric goes, "Do." And it's Eric tripping and falling.
He tripped off the little step, hit the Bilko doors, and slid. Dude, I couldn't laugh, so that made it. Oh, dude, I remember just crying with laughter when we went inside. That'll always make me laugh.
Okay, picks real quick.
Yeah.
Picks.
I don't have too many picks this week.
I didn't do anything.
Seth, you got anything?
I'm trying to think.
We're going to CZW after this.
I've been watching wrestling.
We're going to Abbey Burger.
CZW
not till 4.
I finished Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah.
And Better Call Saul, I want to say, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I recommend watching Breaking Bad. I know it's overhyped, but it is worth the hype.
Y'all doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yep.
What are you, fucking the real Americans?
Yeah, man, that was a good team.
Yeah, I did like that gimmick. I've been watching.
Like
I watched.
Coulter, yo, get out of here.
I watched.
His name's Dutch Mantel.
I don't think you're Dutch.
Fuck you.
You gotta pick it up.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, what finished Better Call Saul? I really liked it. It was really good. It ends really bittersweetly, but definitely recommend that if you enjoyed Breaking Bad.
Lesser Who Sue.
Just
You gotta admit, that was a good one. Fuck.
Just tell people to boycott Warner Brothers.
I've also played.
Quality versus action.
Yes, we should. I've also been playing Battlefront 2 on my PS2
Oh, hell yeah.
because they're remastering it,
Yep,
and it's going to be online play.
Hell yeah, brother.
Very much looking forward to that. So,
I've got Moon Healer by Job for a Cowboy.
That's good.
oh, I
Yeah.
like Job for a Cowboy.
It's different.
It's more
It's-
death metal-y
Yeah,
than I'd say
they're not as
deathcore-y.
like they're.
Oh,
yeah,
you
they're not
guys
as
said Job
traditional.
for a Cowboy. Are you sure you didn't want to say Task for a Bandit?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's mine and Brody's cover band.
Yeah, man.
Occupation for.
But yes, it's definitely
For a cowgirl.
not like it's something different, but it's
They're-
fun.
How about
Yeah,
a horse
like
dude?
they're more. It's more of like a traditional like death metal album.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some progressive elements in there. It's not like your traditional like it's not like Doom. It's not like the Doom EP.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a fun.
It's good.
It's a
good,
fun
though.
return. It's
Yeah.
it's fun. And Circadian by Delenda. Delenda is from Baltimore, Maryland. We saw them at Beers, Beats and Beatdowns or whatever.
Something.
It was one of the death metal bands.
I heard the wrestling wasn't.
Yeah, his butt.
It was.
Yeah, wasn't that good.
There were some fun characters though. That one guy, well, I'm not going to say that on the podcast, but one of the
Yeah.
guys said something really funny.
Yeah. That
Circadian
cringy-ass
Delenda.
stand-up comedian.
It was it's great. It's good old fashioned death metal, bro.
Sound like Ed, Ed and Eddie.
I don't have. I don't have too many picks. I'm not really watching much. I've just been kind of like. Yeah. I've just been kind of like just scrolling through YouTube, just watching random stuff. Oh, actually,
Big
I've been
black
watching.
dicks get
I've
sucked
been
by
watching a lot of.
Brody's probably looking up tutorials on how to floss. Yo.
I've been.
If I saw Brody floss, I'd probably piss myself.
I've been watching. God damn it! I've been watching a lot of actually like analog horror stuff because I get bored at like 12:30 in the morning and I just put that shit on and then like 20 minutes in I turn it off because I get freaked out.
Yeah, it'll freak you out.
There's a video I need to watch actually that Kane Pixels put up.
Yeah.
It's the same kid who did the Backrooms.
Right.
It's a movie called The Oldest View, and like from what I saw in like the preview, it's basically like there's this thing called the Rolling Giant, and it's like this paper mache made thing that's like probably like 8 feet tall, on like a rolling cart, and like it's got like arms like this, but the face is all like blacked out and distorted.
I've seen the image,
but like the I think the whole thing like he's like running through this like empty mall or something, and it's like following him. You know, kind of like it's very backwards,
right.
but I need to watch it.
Wait, is that the one with Mr. Sandman?
Yeah.
The one I showed you, where he's in the grocery store.
No, not that one.
Oh, I did watch Thanksgiving. That was
Yes.
fun. Yeah, that was very
a good
fun.
one.
You liked it?
I'm looking forward to the second. Yeah, the kill. One of the best kills is either when he takes the lady's face and dips it in the water and then sticks her to the freezer door.
I like the
that opening is fucking wild.
I like
That opening
That
makes
Black
me
Friday
uneasy.
I like the parade kill.
Where he chops off the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I liked that one. I liked when he throws her that random blonde chick on the saw blade, Yulia or whatever.
There were a lot of really good kills in that movie.
Yeah, looking forward to. I'm wondering if they're gonna go paranormal with it and bring back the sheriff, or if they're gonna end up giving it like a.
Just keep it grounded in reality. I know that sounds.
Or if
nuts.
it's gonna be like a Scream, like
do
anyone
that.
who takes up a mantle.
It hits. Oh, and then did you hear the credits? in the credits they played the Misfits when we
Oh,
saw it
really?
live.
Oh yeah, Seth marked out.
Yeah.
But they did do a really good job at who's done it type of thing because
yeah.
they keep teasing you.
Yeah.
I told mom.
So-
I told mom because like she knows Patrick Dempsey from
Transformers 3.
she knows him from like
Was it an ER?
Wait, is that the?
not ER Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah.
and like his nickname was like McDreamy.
What about
Yeah.
Will Dempsey?
Fuck off.
Okay, so
but
I know
like
who
I
you're
said to
talking
mom, I'm like, yeah, McDreamy's the killer in this movie, and she's like, oh, that's lovely.
Oh, well, you're.
I'll have to
spoiling.
tell my mom that because I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, if you're not a horror fan and you haven't seen it, well,
And shit yourself.
that's too bad.
With spoilers,
Yeah.
you have. I think with spoilers, you have.
You'll be fine.
You have a month and a half before it's like,
Yeah.
unless it's something like.
Shit's already on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if it's not something super crucial.
As far as listening to stuff goes, though, I actually made Loudwire redid their best metal albums of the 2010s.
Yeah.
So like I'm just I just made a master list of like all of them. Right now I'm on
Damn.
After by Isan. He's the vocalist for that Norwegian black metal band Emperor.
Yep. Okay.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely got his like the same black metal style in it, but there's like some like horns and a brass section in there. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. I've been listening to a lot of
Amon Amarth.
like actually what's
I
funny?
love them.
You know what's funny? I was listening to them earlier. But I've been getting into like a lot of like just modern metal in general, mainly because of my boy Nick Nocturnal, because that's like his thing is modern metal. Been discovering a lot of new stuff.
Hey, you do that with punk.
Oh, actually, there's 2 new songs that came out last week.
What?
Or this past week. Conflict by Slaughter to Prevail.
Yep.
And Blinding Faith
Ooh.
by Knocked Loose.
Knocked Loose was
And I'm
fire.
dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what Knocked Loose is doing, but like, I don't know what they do in their production, but their guitars, especially in the breakdowns, they don't sound like guitars. They sound like explosions.
Their rise has been incredible. Me and Brody saw them on a small stage with before an album, like when they just had an EP
before
out,
they got really good.
and they sucked.
Yeah.
They sucked nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts and balls. And then me and Brody got to see them at Blue Ridge, and they were phenomenal. Like
the crowd, dude, those pits.
Yeah, we thought
That's
Mariah
some of the wildest.
died.
That's some of the wildest. We spent like 20 minutes looking for Mariah because we couldn't find her.
Yeah, she got lost in the.
And there was
mosh pit.
there was like 4 or 5 pits that broke out, and the pit that broke out during Deep in the Willow.
Yeah, I was in there pushing people, throwing people. It's
and like the weird thing is the weird thing is like a lot of people say like Brian Garris, like his voice doesn't sound heavy enough.
Yeah,
and I'm like his voice, like the way, like if you listen to it, he doesn't sound like he's not like trying hard. He sounds pissed.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
different.
whole thing.
That's what makes it good.
Yeah,
it's
like,
so different.
Like if you listen to it, like especially it's this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he sounds mad, which is cool. And then the breakdown during Conflict by Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah.
It's only you and me and that fucking conflict. Like obviously that's not what he sounds like. Because Alex Terrible is actually good and he can do it.
What was the one I had to edit in last week? What was the one with the breakdown, the Korn-like breakdown from the song that you were talking about? You said Nick Nocturnal reacted to it.
Paleface, Left to Suffer.
Lost in the Dark by Left to
Face.
Suffer and Paleface.
Yeah, let me tell you,
Sally.
that was fun to edit.
Oh, sure.
Having to specifically capture the like that's it was look.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see him with Ghost Inside.
I will say I liked it. It was good, but it's not my wheelhouse, so it caught me off guard for a little bit. But
Eric, you got anything?
No.
What have you been watching? What's the last movie you watched this week?
None.
What's the last thing you watched?
You watched The Nun?
I watched a little bit more of Harley Quinn. That's about it.
All right.
But you're liking it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm towards the end of the second season.
Maybe you should hurry up.
Yeah, Eric.
Maybe I should.
We're gonna go to CZW, except Seth because he's tired.
We're going to Sizwa.
I'm going to Sizzler.
But we're watching AEW tonight.
I'll watch some of it, probably, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, I hope you guys have a safe week. Thank you for listening.
Brody sucks
and
toes.
enjoy. Eric gets his foot Eric gets his foot massaged
with peanut
Brody
butter.
still got that celery.